Are you a Canadian senior citizen? If so, you could be eligible to receive a monthly payment of $1,480 from the Canada Revenue Agency through the Old Age Security OAS program. That's a substantial amount of money that can significantly improve your quality of life in retirement. In this video, we'll dive deep into the OAS program, its eligibility requirements, and how you can start receiving these payments. And also don't miss out my next two videos on this channel, in which we will break down all the juicy details about CPP Canada Pension Plan and GS Guaranteed Income Supplement. On this valuable opportunity, stay tuned. But first, let me introduce myself and my channel. My name is Michael and I run the Seniors Money YouTube channel. I'm dedicated to helping Canadian retirees like you maximize your income streams and make the most of your hard-earned savings and government benefits. As a young financial professional, I was appalled at how little guidance was out there for seniors on topics like OAS, CPP, RRS, taxes, and more. So many were leaving thousands on the table due to lack of information. That's why I started this channel, to empower you with straightforward, easy-to-understand advice on getting every penny you deserve from the different income sources available to Canadian retirees. Subscribe if you want to learn strategies to make your retirement fund last and live comfortably on a fixed income. Alright, let's get into this lucrative OAS boost that could net you over $1,400 more per year. The Old Age Security or OAS pension is a monthly payment available to most Canadians aged 65 and older to cover basic living expenses. For the 2023 year, the maximum OAS amount is $687.56 per month for those with individual incomes below $86,912. However, many seniors don't realize that the standard OAS payment is actually clawed back or reduced for higher income earners. For every dollar of income above $86,912, your OAS gets reduced by 15 cents. So if your 2022 income was $100,000, for example, 15% of the $13,088 over the threshold would be deducted from your OAS. This is where our income shifting strategy comes in. By taking steps to reduce your taxable income below the $86,912 threshold, even by a single dollar, you can preserve your full OAS pension. Let me put some real numbers to this. If your income was $100,000 in 2022, your OAS would have been clawed back by around $1,963 annually based on that $13,088 overage. But if you could have dropped your taxable income to just $86,911, you'd receive the full $8,250 OAS pension for the year. That's a $1,963 difference just from crossing under that income threshold. Multiply that over 10 to 20 years of retirement, and we're talking about $20,000 to $40,000 in extra OAS income. So how do you cross under that line without dramatically cutting your spending? Through selectively withdrawing funds from income sources that don't impact your OAS payments. The first place to look is your TFSA or tax-free savings account. Any withdrawals from your TFSA investments are 100% tax-free and won't be included in your taxable income calculation for OAS purposes. Let's say you have a $100,000 TFSA balance and need $15,000 for living expenses next year. By withdrawing that $15,000 from your TFSA rather than other taxable sources, you'll have effectively reduced your annual income to $85,000, well below that OAS clawback threshold. Your TFSA is the perfect way to generate tax-free income in retirement without tripping any OAS clawbacks or other pension income tests. Just be sure not to contribute any new funds once you turn 71 to avoid penalties. Another excellent tax-free source is the cash value portion of a permanent life insurance policy. You can access those funds tax-free through policy loans or withdrawals up to the amount you paid in premiums. So if you have an insurance policy with $50,000 in cash value built up, you can take low-cost loans against it to cover $10,000 or $15,000 of expenses without increasing your taxable income. This lets you preserve more of your OAS pension. In addition to tax-free withdrawals, you can also look at triggering capital gains rather than fully taxable income to reduce your total tax burden. Capital gains only add 50% of their value to your taxable income as opposed to 100% for interest, dividends, or other income. So a $10,000 capital gain would only increase your income by $5,000 for OAS calculations. This means strategically selling some appreciated assets like stocks, real estate, or other investments can help push you below that $86,912 clawback threshold. Let's say your income was originally going to be $90,000 for the year, putting you $3,088 over the limit. You could then realize $6,176 in capital gains, which would only add $3,088 to your taxable income. This would bring you right to that $86,912 threshold, preserving your full OAS pension payments. The key is being thoughtful about which types of income and investment gains you realize each year to maximize your after-tax cash flow. It's a bit of Tetris, but the payoff of keeping more of your hard-earned OAS can be huge. Another powerful way for couples to reduce OAS clawbacks is through income splitting strategies. Since OAS clawbacks apply based on each individual's income, a spouse with little to no income can collect the full OAS amount no matter how high the other spouse's income is. So let's say you're the higher earner in your household, projected to have $100,000 of income this year. By shifting $20,000 of that income over to your spouse through the prescribed rate loan strategy or simply having investments in their name, you could reduce your individual income to $80,000. This would allow your spouse to collect their full OAS pension while only having a partial clawback apply to your own benefits based on that $80,000 income level. You've effectively maximized the household's overall OAS payments just through some basic income splitting tactics. Prescribed rate loans between spouses are a legal way to shift income without triggering any attribution rules. You simply lend funds to your spouse and they invest that money, paying you the prescribed interest while keeping all other growth for themselves and their lower tax bracket. It's a great way for couples to split investment income each year. Your RRSP or Registered Retirement Savings Plan is another piece of the OAS maximization puzzle in your 60s before turning 71. By making larger RRSP contributions in your higher income years, you can dramatically reduce your taxable income while also deferring taxes until you withdraw that money in retirement. Since RRSP contributions reduce your income dollar for dollar, a $20,000 contribution could push you from $90,000 down to $70,000, well below the OAS clawback threshold. Plus, you'll pay less tax today at your higher marginal rate versus withdrawing that $20,000 as fully taxable income later. Once you start withdrawing funds from age 71 onward, your RRSP becomes an RRIF, with mandatory minimum withdrawals each year. So you'll need to structure your RRIF income strategically to continue avoiding OAS clawbacks in those later retirement years. A little pre-planning goes a long way. By combining TFSA withdrawals, capital gains harvesting, spousal loans, and RRSP contributions, you can carefully control your annual income to maximize OAS benefits. One final strategy I'll mention has to do with housing and accessing your home equity. For many seniors, their home is their biggest asset, yet it doesn't generate income for OAS clawback purposes. This creates some unique income planning opportunities using reverse mortgages. With a reverse mortgage, you can tap into your home's value and receive those funds not as a taxable income source, but as a loan that is tax-free. Let's say you own a $500,000 home mortgage-free and your income is currently $100,000 annually, putting you over the OAS clawback threshold. By taking out a $50,000 reverse mortgage loan, you instantly created a new $50,000 of tax-free income you can use to cover living expenses this year. When combined with withdrawing from your TFSA and perhaps taking some capital gains, that $50,000 reverse mortgage could be the difference in getting your total income down below $86,912. To illustrate the impact, let's walk through a couple quick case studies based on some previous clients. John is a single retiree who turned 65 in 2022. His projected income for the year was originally going to be around $95,000, including $25,000 from his RRIF, $30,000 in dividends, and other pension/investment income. Well, that $95,000 income level put John over the OAS clawback threshold, resulting in him only receiving around 75% of his full OAS pension, a reduction of over $2,000 for the year. However, by working with a financial planner, John was able to adjust his income strategy. They set up a TFSA account for John and did an in-kind transfer of $50,000 in securities to capitalize it. For 2022, John took $20,000 out of his TFSA as tax-free income rather than selling investments. He also triggered $10,000 in capital gains at a 50% inclusion rate by selling some appreciated stock positions. Between those two adjustments alone, John dropped his total taxable income down to around $80,000 for the year while still having enough cash flow to cover his $95,000 in expenses. The result? John preserved 100% of his OAS pension amounting to over $8,200 for 2022 that he would have otherwise lost through clawbacks. A tremendous boost to his retirement income. In another case, we had a couple named Linda and Mark, ages 70 and 68. Due to their significant $2 million investment portfolio, Mark was facing very high OAS clawbacks that would reduce his monthly pension to just a few $100s. However, Linda was younger with minimal income of her own, so we implemented a spousal loan strategy where Mark lent $500,000 to Linda at the prescribed 3% interest rate. Linda invested that $500,000, keeping all the growth for herself while paying Mark the required 3% annual interest to avoid any attribution issues. This simple maneuver shifted a large portion of the household's investment income over to Linda's lower tax bracket, while reducing Mark's total income below the OAS clawback range. The couple went from Mark receiving just a small fraction of OAS to him getting the full $8,250 annual pension amount. Meanwhile, Linda will be able to collect OAS with minimal clawbacks once she hits age 65 as well. Between the two of them, this single spousal loan strategy will generate over $100,000 in additional OAS pension income over their lifetimes. A game-changing amount of money. So in summary, here are the key takeaways when it comes to maximizing your OAS pension payments. Understand the OAS clawback threshold, $86,912 for 2023, and how your income above that level will reduce your benefits. Withdraw strategically from tax-free sources like TFSAs and life insurance to create cash flow without impacting your OAS. Realize capital gains instead of fully taxable income where possible to reduce your total tax burden. For couples, use income splitting strategies like spousal loans to allocate income to the lower earning spouse. In your 60s before age 71, make larger RSP contributions to reduce current taxable income. Tap into home equity through reverse mortgages to access tax-free cash flow that doesn't impact OAS. Work with financial planners and tax experts to analyze your complete situation and create a customized retirement income plan aimed at maximizing OAS and minimizing taxes. A little proactive planning can easily result in thousands of extra dollars in OAS pension payments each year. With life expectancies increasing, that's money that will make a huge difference in your quality of life over a 20 to 30-year retirement. So I hope this video opened your eyes to the OAS clawback rules and how you can legally avoid those pension reductions while still generating your desired income level. Be sure to subscribe for more money-saving tips for Canadian retirees. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions about maximizing your OAS or structuring an optimal retirement income plan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.